Hello guys, welcome back to General Chats Ranked. It's still kind of feels weird to say that, but yes, anyway, welcome back. I just realised I stacked these wrong. 1 minute. So anyway, that was my phone. I knocked my phone over. So anyway, on today's episode, we will be ranking. Well, on the last episode of Ranked, we ranked Phase 1 of the MCU. Today, we are ranking Phase 2. Once again, these are based on my own personal opinions. So, let's get into it. Because I know this, my pick for number 6 will be quite controversial for some people, but it just makes sense. Coming in number 6, Iron Man 3. Now, Iron Man 3, as well as my number 5 pick, is one of the worst films in the MCU. I mean, it's just terrible. Well, I'd say terrible. It's like 90% terrible, 10% good, if that makes sense. Honestly, Jon Favreau should have returned as director, because that would have been so amazing. You need to see what he would have thought for his the last film in the Iron Man trilogy. The Mandarin, they try to go bigger in a sense. They try to go bigger, but it doesn't really work. And it just undoes a lot of the previous character development for Tony Stark, as well as as no one likes the Mandarin twist. Anyone who thinks that's clever, you are clearly drunk while watching Iron Man 3, because the Mandarin twist is just so lame and stupid. They basically combined two classic Iron Man villains into one. They basically made Mandarin an actor, and then had the Aldrich Killian guy say, "I am the Mandarin," which is so stupid. And then they basically they change War Machine to Iron Patriot, which is just ridiculous. That is just so stupid. And plus, it just makes Stark feel go oh yeah, he needs to go it alone. Just because the whole point of the character development of the first two Iron Man films and Avengers was just oh yeah, he needs to work as part of a team. So this, I can't even look at this. I'm sorry, I just can't. It's a bad movie. Anyone who thinks otherwise, you were clearly drunk while watching it. Plus, they knock out Jon Favreau 10, 15 minutes into the movie. He doesn't wake up again till the end. And so, number 5, Thor: The Dark World. Now, this is an obvious one, because again, this proved that in 2013 they were trying to do bigger is better. Well, the special effects in this one were obviously better than the first Thor film. I didn't really have much regard for the first Thor film in the first place, but this one is just worse than it. Because it's just I don't know how to explain it really, because it was just it's just kind of one of those films where it's just it's bad, but you can't exactly explain what. That's why it's they were trying to do world building within themselves, but it's just failed. I don't know how else to describe it. I can describe why Iron Man 3 is such a bad film. What irritates me is that people think it's good. And it's clearly not. And then there's Thor the Dark World. Anyway, coming in at number 4, we have Avengers Age of Ultron. Now, it's an okay movie. Great CGI. It's and I guess it's good directed, but it's just overloaded. It's stuffed, and I'm pretty sure this has a shorter runtime than the first Avengers. Hold on, let me check. Like that. No, it doesn't. It has a longer runtime. Apparently, Joss Whedon was forced by Marvel to incorporate like a bunch of stuff into the film that he didn't want to. But honestly, James Spader is great in this. That's all I have to say. It kind of underwhelms because it's so stuffed with stuff. But honestly, it's a meh film. Okay, now this number 3 pick might seem a little controversial, but honestly, the next 3 entries are honestly like so good they might as well be tied for number 1. So anyway, number 3, Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Now this was just kind of like this, done by Anthony and Joe Russo, who you will know from Community. They make the leap from sitcom to superhero spy thriller, which I think they did marvelously. No pun intended. But yeah, Winter Soldier is such a good movie. Because honestly, just like, it does something different than the first Captain America film, as well as like previous MCU films. And they're just like kind of like, it sets a whole like reverberating thing for the franchise going forward that affected even the TV shows, which I thought was amazing. And then, well, how do I explain it really? It's just kind of like, it's a great movie. That's all. It's a great movie. That's all I can say. I'm sorry, it's only at number 3. Just I had to give the first 2 spots to the other 2 films. Anyway, coming in at number 2, Guardians of the Galaxy. Let's see, this one is at number 2, just beating out Winter Soldier, because it's so different than what they've done before. Like, it takes place fully in space, like maybe like a few minutes of doing like a couple of scenes on Earth, and it's just like it's something new. It's not, they show connections, but other than that, it's not really connected. Great VFX. I like that it's like, they're so try to go so humorous as well, which they do really well. It's all just like great cast dynamic. So all I have to say, I know, I'm sorry that this beats out Winter Soldier, but it does, just based on the fact that like it's new. It was at the time, it was like new and fresh. So it's just kind of like, because like each MCU film tries to do something different, except in cases where they could continue going with what they know works. But yeah, that's number 2. Which I'm excited for our number 1 pick, which I'm sure, as you'll know, Ant-Man. I've ranked this one as the top one, as like just like Guardians of the Galaxy. It was like fresh, it was new. Honestly, this is like one of my favorite MCU films. This is like one of my top 5 MCU films, as well as it's in my top 10 films. It's in my top 10 films. So films, because like for my top 10 films, there's like, well, because there's like good films and films I like really love that are like among my favorite. This is one of my favorite films. And man, it's just like new, a little bit connected, but again not. It's just mostly like fresh take. Fresh. Never mind. But yeah. Yeah, and as well as it was amazing directing, cinematography. Yeah, it's just like CGI, so it's just like kind of like all round good film. Well, the champion of the MCU Phase 2. Deservedly right. Deservedly so. Going at the top of the pile. Deservedly so. Iron Man 3 being at the bottom of the pile. So anyway, that was our Phase 2 rankings. So, in the next episode of Rank, we will be ranking Phase 3, which I'm really excited to do. And I think it's going to be great. So I guess technically, from your guys' perspective, you'll be seeing me in the next episode of General Chats on Friday. But from my perspective, I'll be seeing you guys in the next episode of Ranked. Because I'm filming these like out of order, and I'm basically just bulk recording a lot of episodes of Ranked. So anyway, bye.